Hello everybody. If you want to read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short Story 778, The Last Day of the Sun. Intermediate. Maria stood at the window of her small apartment and looked out at the grey sky. For 7 days the rain had not stopped. It fell on the city in a soft, endless curtain. The streets below were empty and wet. The lights from the cars moved slowly, like tired animals. She turned away from the window and looked at the clock on the wall. It was nearly 8 in the morning. In 1 hour she had to be at work. She worked in a bakery on the other side of the city. Every day she took the same bus. Every day she saw the same faces. Every day the rain fell. Maria did not like the rain anymore. When she was a child, she loved it. She loved to jump in the puddles and feel the cold water on her feet. But that was a long time ago. Now, the rain only made her feel tired. She put on her coat, the thick blue one with the torn pocket, and picked up her bag. Before she opened the door, she looked back at the apartment. It was small, 1 room for sleeping, 1 room for sitting, and a kitchen no bigger than a cupboard. But it was hers. She had lived here for 12 years. The bus was late. Maria stood at the stop with 3 other people. Nobody spoke. They all looked at the ground or at their phones. A young woman held a newspaper over her head, but it did not help. Her hair was already wet. When the bus finally came, Maria found a seat by the window. She wiped the glass with her hand, but the fog on the outside would not go away. The city passed like a painting that someone had left in the rain. All the colours were grey and brown. At the bakery, Maria took off her wet coat and put on her white apron. Mr. Rossi, the owner, was already there. He was a large man with a kind face and flour on his hands. "Another day of rain, Maria," he said. It was not a question. "Yes, Mr. Rossi," she said, "another day." She worked until 2 o'clock. She helped the customers, she cleaned the counters, she put the fresh bread into paper bags. The bakery was warm and it smelled of sugar and yeast. It was the only warm place in the city, she thought. At 2 o'clock, Mr. Rossi called her to the back of the shop. He was holding a small white envelope. "Maria," he said. He did not look up at her. "I have to give you this." She took the envelope. She did not open it. She already knew what was inside. "I am sorry," Mr. Rossi said. "The business, it is not good. People do not come out in the rain. I cannot pay you any more." Maria nodded. She had worked for Mr. Rossi for 5 years. He was a good man. It was not his fault. "I understand," she said. She took off her apron, folded it carefully and put it on the counter. Mr. Rossi tried to give her a loaf of bread, but she shook her head. "Thank you," she said, but no. Outside the rain was still falling. Maria walked to the bus stop, but when she got there, she did not stop. She kept walking. She walked past the shops, past the cinema that had closed last year, past the church with the broken steps. She walked for a long time. She came to a small park. In the summer, children played here and old people sat on the benches. Now it was empty. The grass was wet and brown. The trees looked sad. Maria sat on a bench. The rain fell on her face and on her coat. She did not care. She opened the envelope. Inside there was a letter and some money. The letter said, "For your good work, I am sorry. G. Rossi." She counted the money. It was not a lot. It would pay the rent for 1 more month, and then nothing. For a long time Maria sat on the bench. She thought about her life. She thought about the small apartment. She thought about the bus. She thought about the rain. 12 years in this city, and what did she have? a torn coat and an envelope of money. A noise made her look up. Across the park, a man was standing under a tree. He was holding something in his hands. It was a bright yellow umbrella, the only colour in the whole grey world. The man saw her looking. He smiled and walked towards her. As he got closer, she could see that he was old, maybe 70. His face was full of lines, but his eyes were young. "You look very wet," he said. "I am very wet," she said. He held the yellow umbrella over her head. "My name is Leo," he said. "I come to this park every day." "In the rain?" she asked. "Especially in the rain," he said. "Look." He pointed to a corner of the park. Maria looked. There in the wet grass she saw something small and purple. A flower, just one. "I planted it last spring," Leo said. "Every year it comes back, even in the rain, especially in the rain." Maria looked at the flower. It was small and its head was heavy with water, but it was there. It was alive. "Do you know why I come here?" Leo asked. Maria shook her head. "I come here because the rain will not last forever," he said. "One day the sun will come back, and when it does, I want to be here to see it. I do not want to miss the first day of the sun." Maria looked at him. She looked at the yellow umbrella. She looked at the small purple flower. "I lost my job today," she said. She did not know why she told him. She never told strangers her problems. Leo nodded. "I lost my wife 3 years ago," he said. "She was my sun. For a long time I only had rain, but then I came to this park and I planted this flower, and I realized that the rain does not mean the sun is gone, it just means the sun is resting." Maria did not know what to say. She looked at the flower again. It was so small, so easy to miss, but it was there. Leo smiled. "Tomorrow the rain might stop, or it might not, but I will be here with my yellow umbrella. You can come too if you want." He turned and walked away across the wet grass. The yellow umbrella moved through the grey like a small piece of sun. Maria sat on the bench for a long time after he left. The rain fell. The flowers shook in the wind, and slowly Maria began to think. She thought about the bakery. She thought about the money in the envelope. She thought about the 12 years, and she thought about the old man in his yellow umbrella. Finally, she stood up. Her coat was heavy with water. Her shoes made a soft sound in the grass. She walked to the corner of the park and looked down at the flower. She did not pick it. She just looked at it. Then she turned and walked home. The rain was still falling, but for the first time in 7 days, she did not feel tired. She felt something else, something small, like the flower, something that was waiting for the sun. The next morning, Maria woke up early. She went to the window. The sky was still grey, but it was a different grey, lighter, softer. She put on her coat, the blue one with the torn pocket, and she went outside. She walked to the park. The old man was there under his yellow umbrella. "You came," he said. "I came," she said. They stood together and looked at the flower. And then something happened. A small break appeared in the clouds. A single ray of light came down, thin and pale, and touched the purple flower. Maria looked at Leo. He was smiling. "The first day of the sun," he said. And for the first time in a long time, Maria smiled too. Vocabulary notes. Curtain, noun. Definition: a piece of material hung to cover a window. In the story, it is used as a metaphor to describe the rain falling in a way that blocks the view, just like a curtain blocks light. Example: it fell on the city in a soft, endless curtain. Explanation: the writer compares the rain to a curtain. This helps us imagine the rain falling steadily and heavily, all in one sheet, making it hard to see the city beyond it. It creates a feeling of being closed in or separated from the world. Similar words: screen, veil, drape, blanket. Tired, adjective, definition, feeling a need to rest or sleep. In the story, it is used in two different and interesting ways. Examples: the lights from the cars move slowly, like tired animals, describing cars. Now the rain only made her feel tired, describing Maria's feeling. Explanation: first, the writer uses tired to describe the car lights. This is called personification, giving human qualities to non-human things. It suggests the whole city is exhausted by the rain. Second, it describes Maria's emotional and physical state directly. The rain has worn her down over time. Similar words: exhausted, weary, drained, sluggish, fatigued. Especially, adverb, definition, used to single out one person, thing, or situation as better or more important than all others. It means particularly or above all. Example: I come to this park every day, he said. In the rain? She asked. Especially in the rain, he said. Explanation: Maria is surprised that Leo comes to the park in bad weather. Leo uses especially to show that the rainy days are not an exception to his routine. They are the most important reason for it. This one word reveals his positive and hopeful character. Similar words: particularly, above all, notably, specifically, primarily. Ray, noun, definition, a narrow line of light or other radiation. It can also be used metaphorically to mean a small amount of something positive. Example: a single ray of light came down, thin and pale, and touched the purple flower. Explanation: this describes the first moment the sun breaks through the clouds. The word ray is perfect because it suggests something thin and fragile, but also powerful and full of promise. It is a physical ray of sunlight, but it also represents a ray of hope for Maria, a small sign that things might get better. Similar words: beam, shaft, glimmer, flicker, spark. Resilient, adjective, definition, able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. It describes something that is strong and can return to its original form after being bent, stretched, or knocked down. Example, concept, the small purple flower that survives and blooms in the rain. Explanation: the flower is the main symbol of resilience in the story. It is small and easy to miss, but it returns every year, even in the bad weather. Maria, by the end of the story, also shows resilience. She loses her job and feels hopeless, but meeting Leo and seeing the flower helps her find a small strength to keep going. She, like the flower, is resilient. Similar words: strong, tough, hardy, robust, durable. Story written by DeepSeek. Image created by onemin.ai. To read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.